No.
Fast, furious, the cast and the curious.
Woo!
Welcome to the cast and the curious. I'm Sarah Griffith.
I love it. I am Bridgett Greenberg, and this is what you said it is. We just watched the Fast ampersand Furious, the fourth installment.
Well, it's not the Fast ampersand Furious. This one is just Fast ampersand Furious.
Yes, of course.
Very sleek, very sexy. It's a new year, new them, new set of rules, new set of laws, brand new FBI, whole new gang, and Letty's dead. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, well, I kind of want to say welcome back to the franchise.
Maybe we should talk about the fact that we can have any pandemic we want so long as it's Corona. This is the at-home edition of Cast and Curious. I'm in my home. Bridget's in her home. We're looking at each other through FaceTime.
And we still watch the movie together because we're adorable.
Well, to be fair, I think if I was watching it by myself, my head would explode. Because at least, like, when I'm watching it... You need
to diffuse, yeah.
Yes, like, I'm, like, saying out loud, like, this is insane. This is bad shit. And then it's nice. It's comforting to hear a fan say, yes, it is. And it's just like this. Like, this is just what we have to live with.
It's not what we have to live with. It's what we choose to live with. And it's phenomenal. But when I said welcome back... not even just to this podcast, but to the franchise really as a whole. Like thematically,
oh my
welcome
God.
back to what the Fast and Furious is, or like set out to be.
Listen,
or I guess came back to. I don't know the minds of the creators.
This is brand new information to our listeners, but as a fan of Star Wars, I'm okay, and I'm used to bending our timeline and being able to jump around and wrap my head around, okay, so this is happening here, and that person's still there, and I get it. The first 20 minutes of this movie made me feel stupid. I felt stupid watching the first 20 minutes of this film.
Normally, when films have to, like, look down the barrel of the camera and say, this is what's happening, I kind of roll my eyes at that. But, we really needed the timeline explainer here.
No, when Paul Walker very clearly said, that was 5 years ago, I was like, literally, thank God, because it's minute marker 23. We have been to 2 different countries. A character who I thought was dead is alive, and then a character who's been alive is all of a sudden dead, and we're at her funeral?
Yeah, it's confusing, but canonically... Fast Forward takes place in between the events of 2 and 3.
Okay.
So that first scene where Han is in it, it is pre-Tokyo Drift.
Of course.
And then we jump ahead in time a little bit, obviously.
So I'm trying to
somewhere
think,
between.
So I'm tracking this for Officer Brian, who should be at the Hague. He's a war criminal.
So he's endangered countless pedestrians.
He starts in Los Angeles. That's where we see him get mercury poisoning. That's where he's introduced. Got him. Then he goes to Miami.
Yeah.
And then because he does such good work there, I guess.
Yeah.
He's reinstated to the FBI and then brought back to LA, and this is where the movie is.
Yes. So
meanwhile, there's some high schoolers in Arizona or whatever who are like racing each other, but it's not gotten out of hand yet.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the Tokyo Drift timeline, yes, theoretically somewhere around there. We could also
the audacity. Can I just say the audacity?
Oh.
The audacity. Because outside of that Han cameo, which was cool, why is this in between? Why is this not just after Tokyo Drift?
Well, the series had to do after Tokyo Drift. I feel like they got Vin Diesel back officially after he kind of in the middle of, I think, them shooting the third movie was like, all right, I'll come back to your series, because he wasn't going to do anymore.
He was doing XXX.
He was done. He was going to do Babylon AD was going to be a big deal. And then Chronicles of Riddick.
Okay.
was also his other big deal.
Okay.
So he was like, I don't need this anymore. Those two didn't go well. So he's like, fine, I'll do your dumb car movies, which eat those words, Vinny.
Yeah.
And so I think they had him. They're like, great. So we can have the old crew, the family, if you will, back together in 4. Let's go back to our original world now that we can.
Thank God.
And kind of hit the reset button on what the series is. And that's what 4 kind of is. It's like,
yes.
the gang is here. We're back home. We're back in LA.
Yes. And I truly, really, sincerely did enjoy watching this movie. For as outlandish as I have come to enjoy about these films as they were.
Yeah.
This one, it was like, this is nice to have a plot and like characters who are developing and relationships that I am invested in.
Right. It feels like a franchise again and not an anthology series.
Yes. Yes.
So like you're hitting familiar ground again, and it feels nice because you're like,
I'm home.
Right. This is what the series is supposed to be. It's escalated. It's gotten a little more ridiculous, but I'm back with my friends.
Yes.
Better than ever.
This was
back
definitely,
and better than ever.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be back on stable ground.
Yeah. So do you want to try to explain the plot of this movie?
Woo! I knew this question was coming, and I'm sweating this one. So
It's thin.
So basically, I'm just gonna pick up where I think actually matters. Brian O'Connor is reinstated into the FBI, which is so insane to me. But he's in, and they're trying to take down this drug lord, gang boss, Braga. He, as it turns out, as it so happens, and you're not going to believe this, but he is looking for a driver who can go real fast. So they're like, well, I guess O'Connor, that's your shit, right? And he's like, I guess it is. So he gets put in. I can't even remember how they reintroduced Vin Diesel at this point. But like basically, he has a vested interest. Both Vin Diesel and Paul Walker have vested interest in Braga. Vin Diesel because Braga is the reason why Letty's dead. Oh God, have I?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
no, you hit it.
Yeah, because
you hit why he's in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's got this vested interest in a personal vendetta against Braga. For Officer O'Connor, it is both personal and a professional reason he's going after Braga. God damn it, Braga. And part of that is Letty herself went to the feds and said, I will help you take down Braga if you can clear Dom's name. Oh my God. And then
you're doing great.
Yes. Whew. So they both managed to become drivers for Braga. They do their first gig. It turns out to be a setup. So Dom flips the tables, blows everyone to smithereens, he thinks, gets the hell out of there. They cut a deal because they've got Braga supplies. They cut this deal. We'll exchange the money if we can see Braga. It's a psych out. The FBI takes 5 years to figure that out. Vin Diesel figures it out in 5 seconds. A chase ensues. They take down Braga. It's all good. It ends with Vin Diesel actually not being exonerated for his crimes and actually going down seriously. But the final scene makes it seem like there's a prison break on the way. Is this the plot?
No, you did
Fast
great.
and Furious 2009.
You did great.
Okay.
Small moments I want to point out along the way.
Okay.
During the initial setup drug run where Vin Diesel blows everybody up, he gets shot at one point and the bullet doesn't bother him. Yeah,
Vin
doesn't
Diesel
bother
is
him at all.
immune to bullets.
Yes, we find that out in this movie. That's going to be a
Totally
theme.
immune.
That's going to be a theme throughout these.
Cool.
Yeah, that's why.
You did tell me at some point they just become superhero movies in cars, and this one was definitely like, there's some super strength.
That's where, this movie is definitely where that starts, becoming a thing. Where
Definitely.
I mean, they were always immune to grisly car accidents.
Unless they're not supposed to be. I mean, clearly, who flips over in a car and survives is up to fate, I guess.
It's just a roll of the dice. You know?
Truly.
It's truly chaos theory. It's like whatever dimension you happen to walk into.
Oh my God. I didn't even see Paul Walker bleed up until the end. At the end, he was fucked up. He was fucked up an appropriate amount.
Vin Diesel in this movie absolutely pummels him. Just wails on his face, and then you get a close-up of his face, and it is as beautiful as ever.
The fighting was very intense.
Very intense in this movie.
Again, I find myself saying, it's furious. Pretty furious film.
Pretty furious. Yeah, this movie definitely escalates it. If you think back to one, where one of Vinny's crew tries to fight Brian and they just kind of like tussle a little bit in the dirt, to go from that to like Vin Diesel like throwing Brian overhead across the room and punching his face, and then you just see those like pretty blue eyes and like his tan skin and nothing's wrong.
Just perfect. Yeah. No, I'm thinking about when Paul Walker knocked that other Fed, like grabbed his head and slammed it up against like that marble pillar.
Yeah, no, he tried to kill a fellow FBI agent.
That is a fractured skull. Minimum.
Yeah. In the office. In the FBI Los Angeles office.
And the FBI, oh my God. I mean, could not be a worse agency legally. The legality of this world is already... Truly... So, because remember in the last film in Japan, if you just drive fast enough, the cops won't even chase you.
That's true.
So if you drive fast enough, you can break every law in Japan.
Yeah, known
but
fact.
I guess a few years before that, you could
honestly
be reinstated into the FBI after like being the worst police officer of all time.
Yeah, after letting a felon go
because he's your friend.
Yeah,
and you're fucking his sister.
Yeah, you just get back in.
Jesus.
Because he's a good driver. He gets let back in. Yeah, the FBI is very bad.
Again, the Braga, like, switch that it's like, what's his ass is actually Braga, whatever. Like, it takes the Federal Bureau of Investigations that has information about literally all of us at all times under any circumstance, had to wait for, like, a readout of fingerprints to figure out that they were being lied to about who's who. And Vin Diesel just looked hard and was like, that's Braga. Like, what the fuck?
He's got that Vinny sense. He's got that Toretto sense.
Yeah, definitely Dom Toretto is a superhero.
Oh,
he may be able to fly.
Just you wait, because, yeah, every movie, it just ups the ante of how bulletproof all these guys are. And how...
Literally bulletproof. Literally.
Wait till the... No, I can't. Never mind. Sorry.
You can't say.
Oh, this is a frustrating experiment for me.
You can't say. But I will say, like, so this movie had its, like, goofy kind of almost camp. Camp in, like, its own very specific category camp. Like male testosterone camp. Like wrestling is.
Wrestling camp.
Yes, this was wrestling camp. But actually, like, I was pretty compelled by this movie.
Yeah, this one...
I think this is, like, legitimately a good movie.
Oh, yeah, this one... I mean, everyone's acting ridiculous, but that's kind of the world of action movies anyway.
Can I ask...
And there's a plot.
How does this one rank for maybe, like, the average F&F fan?
Definitely high to high middle. High middle.
Okay.
Upper middle deck, you know?
Yeah. I could feel that, though. Like, it was actually, like, I was invested. I was really finding out what was happening next instead of just, like, trying to figure out literally what is happening.
At the time, it was the best one.
I can see that being true.
And we were like, this is the movie. This is what we've been wanting. We wanted these movies to raise stakes.
Yeah. Well, killing off Letty is, like, the highest stake you could raise to. I mean, I know there's no way she's dead. Like, I have seen a billboard with Michelle Rodriguez in it.
I mean, but now the timeline's all funky, so.
Honestly, with this series, I cannot trust anything or anyone. I do strongly believe Michelle Rodriguez, I don't know, maybe she faked her death? I'm now very upset about this Letty conspiracy, but I can't, like, look into this because spoilers.
Yeah, because you chose to watch. Bless you.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, you can't look into it because you chose to watch the movies this way.
I guess, yeah. But I'm glad it's rewarding. It's
Yeah,
very
it is.
exciting because, like, I'm not even watching the trailers before. Like, I literally am just going into these stone cold.
Yeah, I remember the trailer coming out for this one and, like, being like, yes, we're back.
Wow, 2009. I was really into Star Trek that summer. That movie had come out.
Oh, yeah. The Chris Pine Star Trek.
Yes.
You
Yes,
nerd.
yes, yes.
But yeah, also, we're back to the gratuitous shots of women, scantily clad women. Even in the trailer, because I rewatched it before this, in the trailer, there's just a clip of two women making out, which has nothing to do with the movie.
There was a lot of girls making out with other girls in this movie. Like,
I mean, yeah.
a lot.
It is
There were
true.
6 of them within 5 minutes. No joke.
Yeah, that is true. If you took this movie and edited out every scene where two women are making out, for whatever reason you want to do that,
Yeah, the whole first act would be...
You shave 30 minutes off this movie.
Yeah,
and that is
seriously.
at no point part of the movie.
We lost it pretty good when the GPS map, that was
Yes.
like a Mario fucking kart, whatever graphic, and they literally had sexy ladies into the interface of this GPS system.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
why don't I have that option in my car? Why don't
Yeah.
I get photos of sexy ladies when I need to find my way to the nearest Starbucks?
Exactly. So if you're not watching along with us and you don't remember, because honestly,
this is niche.
Yeah, it's a special moment where the GPS that Braga gives all his drivers to, like, have them test race to see which one is best, but he chooses all of them. He gives
Because
them a
the
GPS.
real race was in us all. They were
That
all.
is-
It's all in us. We were the okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he gives them a GPS to follow his orders, and as it counts down their track, there's just ladies, just like sexy ladies pop up. Just hot girl, hot girl, hot girl.
It is literally the effort they put in to get those
Yeah.
sexy ladies on that screen. Like,
Just
that
stock
cost
footage.
money
Yeah, no,
and
that was a good.
time.
I mean, to this movie that cost, I think, like $75 million, which is crazy that it
Well,
only
they
cost
made that opening day, I'm sure. Well, not in 2009, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was like, a good $1,000 just in stock footage, unnecessary stock footage.
Oh man, that was truly, I had almost forgotten about that. Thank you so much. There's another niche scene that happens in this film. Blink if you miss it. When Cowboy Dwight, whatever, is busted up for
Oh
like
my
having
God.
meth or whatever. Okay, first of all, that entire scene from the opening of 3 girls making out to him licking some woman's feet and toes.
Yes. Unnecessary. Incredible
and
that it
then
made
the
it into this
feds-
movie.
The feds busting down the door and then saying you're arrested for meth and then planting meth, and it's fucking Paul Walker, and he's like, well, it doesn't have to stick, it just has to get him out of Braga's drive. It's like, oh my God. And all because
yeah.
fucking meth head Dwight, like, talk shit on Brian O'Connor's car the night before. That is a
Yeah.
gross misuse of
Yeah.
government funding.
Truly, his mercury poisoning is getting him into the
So
like
bad.
rage phase. Yeah, that scene is incredible because it has, again, one of those scenes that have literally nothing to do with the movie except show what a piece of shit Brian O'Connor is.
Okay,
Look.
I thought it was to get Dwight out of Braga's payroll so that way Paul Walker could get in. Because Vin finished first, Paul finished second.
Was that guy even in the race? He wasn't even in the race. He was just there.
I know, because I thought he was already in. They were filling one slot for his drivers, but I'm sure he had other drivers.
Yeah, but if he was going away for nothing, then if it was just a plant
it
to
would
fuck
be
with
just
him
enough to hold him up, though. You know what I mean?
for like a night.
Well, all he needs is a night.
And then he said it's not going to stick, so that means they're going to know that an FBI agent planted that meth and then did not get fired.
I mean, listen, that guy should go to jail just from the way he was licking that woman's feet. And like his whole...
don't shame him.
You know what? When you have that haircut...
The movie shamed him.
He was set up. He was set up literally and within the movie. And quite frankly, if he goes to jail, maybe it's for the best.
Yeah.
He had a little bit of a Tiger King vibe, did he not?
Oh, 100%. It's so funny because like I've seen all these movies so many times, but the experience of watching them is like a blackout, in that there are all these things that don't matter that I've completely forgotten about.
There are just quite a few things.
There are just like little like scenes, like a group of scenes in this movie that I've been like, what? I've seen this movie 4 times and I've never in my life seen this scene before.
Yeah.
And it happens every movie. There's something where it's like, I don't know where I went during this part.
I just kind of feel like the first like hour of these movies, like all of them are really just kind of a potpourri of bullshit. And then maybe like 2 or 3 scenes where someone's in a garage and they're like, so it's been 3 years or like whatever. And then they get into some exposition.
Well, yeah, because it's just like flash, you're getting sucked in. It's montage. You're having a great time.
And then this
it's
one
like
started
drugs.
All
and then
over
they start
the world
talking.
in all different time zones and time period. I was like truly like not even 1 year popping up would have like anything.
Yeah, it's truly like the experience of watching these movies is truly like you are on drugs. Like they're just flashes of things you remember. And you had a great time, but you don't really know what happened.
I'm not kidding. Sometimes these movies make me feel stupid because it's like, I can't believe I'm not following this. It can't be hard.
Well, it shockingly is, because the plot is paper thin and it is not why you were watching these movies at all. You're watching them.
I at least appreciated this plot more so than I think the other ones, because I think this was just a little bit more smaller scale. It was very concentrated. There was like 2 bad guys, 2 good guys, a sister, the feds. Like, not a lot of people, not a big to-do with a bunch of cops, just like very simple revenge, car racing, Gal Gadot.
Well, they also, I was going to mention, there was other characters in it who enter the franchise world, but you're not really sure why. In one of those, it's Gal Gadot.
Well, there she is.
She's in this movie, folks. Did you have any idea?
You know what? Almost as soon as she appeared on screen, there was like a part of my brain that was like, I did know this previously.
Yeah. Did you know it or did it just fit?
And I honestly was just about to say, it just seemed right. It was just one of those things that it was like, oh yeah, of course that would.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't think twice about it. Yeah. Yeah, she is one of Braga's men, and then is now in these movies.
Yeah, she's gonna be in more of them.
I don't want to talk too much, but I think I've given that away. Yes,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I kind of think anybody who's in these movies and has a name, even whatsoever. Honestly, I'm truly like, anybody is like to come back. Again, Han is in the first 15 minutes of this movie. Yeah. So there are no fucking rules. I'm here to roll with the punches. It is scary sometimes, but I'm willing to.
It's drive
head first
into the wall, full speed.
Just head on into a wall and just crash and just see what happens.
But why this movie is definitely easier to follow, going back to what you said before, because it also, I feel like, has work to do. Like we have to get back to home base. We have to all right, we need to bring Dom and Brian back together again somehow. We need to find a way to get them to team up again. to make this all work.
Yes.
We need to bring Officer Brian like back into the fold. We need to show what Dom has been up to.
Yeah, again, to your point, like, it's not like it'd be fun this time to do. This time was actually like, okay, here are our players. And like, yeah, actually work hard on like making something that is dynamic and emotionally compelling, in addition to having badass car shit, which they had in this movie in spades.
Right. Oh my God, this movie is fast.
Yes. And you know what? It's also a bit of a departure because there's not a whole lot of like gratuitous like street racing stuff. I mean, they do that first street race, but that's like with pedestrians. I mean, that's very intense. Like the racing even has stakes now instead of just like we have to show off or prove our dominance here. It's like, no, we have to drive faster than everyone else because they have guns and they're going to kill us.
Right. It's not just for fun anymore, you know? It's for...
This is for keeps.
This is for... They're really, you know, it's not just pinks anymore that they're playing for.
They're playing with their lives. They're out here playing and driving for their lives.
And I've hinted at this a lot, but it is clear from watching this movie now in order, which I haven't done this back to back in a while, that this is where, and this is how I think everyone feels about 4, where these movies like truly start taking off, because like we've gotten back to our home base, we've upped the stakes, and now there's only one way to go, and it's right to the top.
Yeah, and I mean, even this one has like the goddamn sequel decency to set up a little bit of something for the 5th one. What is the 5th one called?
The 5th one is Fast 5.
Jesus.
Oh, you'll never... I should start... From now on, I'm going to start these and not tell you what the full names are.
Okay.
What the actual, like, theatrical title is. And see if you can just guess the naming convention they use.
Yeah, oh, Jesus.
Never the same. And never really... There's no rhyme or reason to how they change up.
They honestly, what happened was Too Fast, Too Furious was so fucking cool.
Right, and they had to keep...
They never recovered from that. Tokyo Drift, also pretty badass.
Yeah.
But this just being Fast and Furious seems a little bit like they quit.
Yeah, Fast & Furious. They
Could
just
I
started
maybe
playing with
suggest
grammar.
another title?
Please.
The Fast and the Furious, Back to the Streets. Back to the Streets.
But I kind of want, like, Back to the Streets, and I want another 2 in there, because 2 and 2, as we all know, equals 4.
The Fast and the Furious, Los Angeles Forever.
There it is.
Too Fast, Too Furious Forever.
That's it. That's it. That's the winner.
Yes.
Too Fast, Too Furious Forever. Yeah, I think they are, you know, they really like aim the juggling balls high with the titling on Too Fast and Too Furious, and now they're just desperately trying to keep those balls in the air.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it was just so good. I feel like this is where maybe the franchise really got quiet for me. Because like I said, like I have memories of Too Fast, Too Furious being in theaters. I remember Tokyo Drift coming out. But like, yeah, I can't even name movies. Well, I mean, obviously I can name this one. I just saw it. But like 4, 5, 6, really the only reason why, was it The Fate of the Furious or was it Furious 7? When Paul Walker passed away, I remember then them being in movies, obviously, because it was like a big story.
Yeah. Well, you did get the names of 7 and 8 right just there.
Okay. Well, The Fate of the Furious, I mean, that's
great.
You're eating out of my hand for that one.
Yeah, that one is good.
I don't know why, though, that like this is kind of a quiet period for like, I truly have no memory of these movies being in theaters.
It is interesting because like the run we go on now is like some of the best the franchise has to offer.
I've heard that.
But I think the reason it probably went quiet for you is because there was almost a gimmick to the first 3, like the first one being that it's the first one to come out, it's novel.
Yeah.
Too Fast, Too Furious, obviously great name. They're coming back from this like sleeper hit that they didn't expect. and it's in my, like, there's a flashy gimmick to that.
Yes.
And then obviously
and Ludacris is in it. Like, I mean, these are big names. Yeah.
Right. Is in it. And then Tokyo Drift is another, like, there's a gimmick to the first, it's almost like there's a gimmick to the first three.
I guess you're right.
And then from here on out, they're like, no, if you didn't get on board, like, these are just what the movies are. You're probably on board at this point.
If I can make a prediction,
not, the
like
ship
a very
has sailed
vague,
for you.
Yeah, I think, like, we are starting here to really build the, like, serious, hard foundation of this franchise. And then from, like, I guess 7 up, you're just adding pools and helicopter landing pads.
Yeah, we're in the belly of the beast now. You know, we're in the heart of darkness.
Okay.
We're in it.
I don't want some Vin Diesel, Marlon Brando looking creature to meet me at Fast 9 or F9, whatever the fuck. Once we get to that.
You know, The Rock shows up at some point. You do know that.
Oh my God. I was afraid The Rock was going to show up in this movie. I'm not going to lie. When they did that flashback and they showed, like, the big outline of somebody shooting Letty, I was like, this isn't The Rock, is it? Because I know The Rock and Jason Statham have beef. And they're, like, on different sides of... Like, I remember seeing a trailer where they were, like, fighting.
Yeah. God damn it.
This is awful.
I hate this podcast.
Oh, man.
I don't hate it. It's just very frustrating for me to say stuff and me just not, like, have to not react. I don't...
just, like, I don't know.
What is this content?
I don't know how I missed all of these movies, but I'm watching them now.
Yeah. And did that get you as hype as 1, 2, and 3? Or
I
more?
definitely am curious to watch. Like, it's not just I'm excited to watch these movies, because by now it's fun. I was, like, stoked to get to this one because I was like, oh my God, Vinny's back. Brian O'Connor's back. Like, my friends are back. Letty's dead, but I mean, we'll figure that out later.
That's truly what the writers said at that time. We'll figure that out later.
Honestly, we'll get to that. But now I feel not only excited to watch the next one because I know these movies are fun, but, like, I am genuinely invested in what happens to Dom and Brian. Yeah.
I mean, we were talking a little bit. There's got to be slash fic out there for them.
I might be writing it. It's a little romantic, I gotta say. Pretty romantic. I like their dynamic. But truly, like, this is what I was saying about, like, 2 and 3 compared to the first one. What made the first one so good was that dynamic. That they're kind of a push and pull of each other. They're so similar, but on opposite sides of the law. This one also kind of a similar beat. Like, they're handling their shit in different ways, and yet it's so similar how they like, literally just manifest all of their emotions into driving and their cars and, like, their loyalty and
There's
shit.
a lot of pent up frustration there.
Oof, they are very, the two of them are very frustrated.
There is
absolutely.
There is steam, heat between them.
Also,
it is crazy to think this movie is technically a sequel to the first Fast and Furious. It is So 2 and 3 are truly their own almost standalones.
Solo and Rogue One.
Exactly. And then now we're in the Ridge Tridge.
I mean, it's not my language.
I have to talk down to you. I can't talk.
Because Star Wars is so below Fast and Furious on the franchise rankings.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that.
Fucking real.
I don't know.
Fucking real.
I don't know why I'm trying to be. I like Star Wars a lot.
But no, we are in A New Hope. It is. I mean, this is episode 4. So now we're in it. I'm glad to be in it. Honestly, I really did enjoy this movie quite a bit. Yeah.
No, it's a good one. Do you have any favorite car races or crashes? Because I keep thinking, rewatching it, my favorite one is at the end where he drives through the guy and smushes him against another car. Dom drives through.
Yes.
Phoenix, yeah, something like that. The man who killed Letty drives through him at full speed, crashes him into another car, and then calls him a pussy.
That's was very cool. That was very masculine of him.
It was just like, for getting smushed by your car.
It did make me cheer. I did cheer when that happened. That was funny.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It was a great moment. It was a great smashy thing.
Yeah, the tunnel racing I thought was extremely badass. That was because what I like about that is that like it was such a high stakes race without it being flashy. Like that is a very difficult driving situation they were all in, and they were all handling like pros.
They were, everyone's calm. If you look at Vin Diesel's face, he's doing some acting there where his eyes are like on the road.
Vin Diesel is acting in this movie, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. But also like that opening sequence with him and Michelle Rodriguez driving like to the oil tanker. Fuck, that was cool,
I was going to bring that up. This movie has an amazing opening sequence of them trying to rob that oil truck. Yeah, incredible. And I said this while we were watching it, but it's one of my favorite tropes of these movies that starts happening here, and that's little car hits big car and big car flips and little car is fine.
Yes, the physics of the Fast and Furious universe.
I would love to read a dissertation on it. I would love some physics professor to explain the physics of the Fast and Furious movies and how fast they need to be driving for a small car to hit a big car.
You know,
and big car to flip.
If some franchises have the decency to keep like almost like a show Bible, but like a franchise Bible of like, okay, these are the rules of the franchise.
Oh,
and so it's gotta be like if protagonists could literally have their entire car blown up and then thrown in a shredder, but they will walk away.
Yeah, they could be their car could be impounded, turned into a cube with them in it.
And then
they'll be
get
fine.
out of there and be like, pass me a Corona or some tough guy shit like that.
Just like their eyebrows bleeding a little bit.
There was also a lot of tough guy shit. I feel like in the other three films there have been moments of levity, or like there's always been kind of one goofball character. Yeah. No goofball character here. No colorful.
I mean, they're
little nerdy white kid. None of that.
Briefly, in the first heist and the last heist, you see those two guys in the car together.
Okay, yes.
But we never see them throughout the rest of the movie. Or really ever again.
Yeah, no. And this one's also like pretty prude, all things considered. I mean, Dom's sister and Brian get it on pretty seriously.
Right next to Dom. There. Yeah, right. Like in the other room. And that's horrible.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
No, that didn't feel good. That made me uncomfortable, but
I did genuinely like the choice that Vin Diesel is like loyal to Letty, and like even though Gal Gadot was like on his dick the entire film, he was like loyal to his woman. I did genuinely like that. Yeah, that is a very easy trope that is played successfully on me. Time and time again. It's the internalized misogyny, I'm sure, but it's like, oh my God, a man is emotional about a woman who died. I love him.
Yeah, the slightest bit of caring about his dead longtime lover.
It works.
Partner.
I'm telling you. Hey, I'm very alone in this isolation period. Let me have this one thing.
No, it is a like point in Dom's corner. And certainly there are not a lot in Paul Walker's corner. In Officer Brian's corner. But yeah, no, that is the true love story of our time is between
Dom and Letty.
Dom and Letty. No, I know Dom and Letty. I'm trying to think of Dom's sister's name, Jordana Brewster's character's name. And
oh my
again,
God.
These
Isn't
movies that I love and have seen so many times.
Is it Mia?
Oh my God, Mia.
Ooh,
wow.
I don't know how I remembered that.
No, you're absolutely right. Mia and Brian are another love story for our time, but
really, Brian and
less
Dom.
to root for there. We don't really know why.
Brian and Dom, though.
Brian and Dom, though.
Brian and Dom. Let's cook on that one a little.
Could be. What's wrong with giving your bro a little smooch after a harrowing race through underground Mexican tunnels?
Fellas, is it gay to give your bro a little smooch after you survive a horrible car crash?
Together, and then you watch him kill a man and then call him a pussy.
Yes.
Murdered, straight up cold blood murder.
Yes. This one, I don't know if it was less or more violent than the other ones. They're all pretty on par in terms of being fast and furious.
Yeah.
This one just felt personal.
For sure. Yeah, I think this one's more violent because, again, the action is stepped up. Like, the other violence was like, yeah, they were like tussling. I guess in the first one also you see Johnny Tran fill someone's mouth with motor oil.
That I had forgotten about that one.
Yeah.
That one is pretty hard
and like kneecap him.
Yes.
But yeah, relatively speaking, 2 and 3 are probably a little light on like the grisly beat 'em ups.
Yeah, well, 2 and 3 I think
and
are
this
also
again
like
is
colorful. Like they're full of like bullshit, like comic relief kind of shit. And this one I think was like almost served up dramatic.
It's dark. Yeah, the movies get darker. I mean, and you get. I can't ruin any more for you.
My God, I am genuinely nervous.
This is a podcast of me just swallowing words that I want to say.
Oh my God.
But yeah, also like we were saying, it's also higher stakes action, and they start turning a little superhero-y here. So
yes,
the action is like we've cranked it up to 11 at this point, and now Vin Diesel can throw things through walls. And he also did get bigger, I think.
He is huge. When he stood up at the end there, when he was in
that courtroom,
jumpsuit,
in that jumpsuit,
dude, he was busting out of that. He looked massive.
Yeah, he comes back, stands up in that courtroom, and you truly realize how big the man you've been watching this whole time is.
I also think Paul Walker looks very good in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, he's always so pretty, but
he doesn't look like a little teen boy anymore. He looks like a grown-ass man.
No,
who wears a full-blown suit to chase down a criminal.
And yeah, we've also gotten out of the era of double XL t-shirts.
We have. I will say the fact that this takes place in 2000, or that this one came out in 2009, I think actually helps watching the movie because it's like, this looks like a modern, like I even said, like, oh my God, every movie looks like this now.
Yeah. Action sequence and like the way they step into action. And,
yeah, we figured it out and we never changed it.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably less exploitative shots in movies yet. A couple less.
Just a couple, yeah.
Just a couple.
They still sprinkled it. Honestly, though, the shots that they had in this one just kind of look like stock footage of like the other movies.
Oh,
they're like, oh, well, we can't put out a Fast and Furious without like some booty shorts walking across the screen.
Yeah, no, it truly could have been taken from any of the movies.
Yeah.
And that is a theme every single time. Every single one of these movies.
Honestly, good. Even though I'm new to these movies, it gives me a nostalgia when I see that. It's like, yes.
Oh, it's great.
I remember.
It's great. It's so clearly like for a 13-year-old boy audience.
The Fast and Furious demographic is a huge population, but it is a very specific type of person.
Oh, and they're so easy to cater to. And honestly, it sucks up some of the rest of us in the orbit.
It's sucking me in because I truly enjoyed this one and am looking forward to seeing the next one.
Oh yeah. All right.
Like if I had seen this in theaters, I would have left the movie being like, fuck, dude, oh my God.
Oh yeah, you're hyped after this, especially the way they end it on like this pseudo cliffhanger.
Great ending. It's a great ending.
It's a great ending. It's an amazing beginning and ending. Both like you know, they really got cinematic with like having parallel scenes opening and closing these movies.
And you know what? I motherfucking loved it
and I love when they let, as much as I forgot her name moments ago, I love when they let Mia drive.
Oh, hell like, yeah.
Every time she gets behind the wheel, I'm like, yeah, don't forget about her.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I now feel better about where we're leaving you in this series.
Yeah, I mean, I think we took a while in between to Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift to now. I think it's been like a couple months since we saw those.
Yeah.
But I think that's actually good because that feels like, because nowadays, 2 months ago feels like a year and a half ago.
Yes.
Like thinking about the last time I was physically at your apartment seems like another lifetime ago.
Disgusting. I let you into my home.
Yeah. So seriously, what were we thinking? It feels like 1, 2, and 3 are somewhat in my past, even though the past isn't, you know what I mean? Like that is the foundation.
You know those
and
movies.
now I'm like I have been baptized by fire, and now I am in the Fast and the Furious. I'm in Fast and Furious. You're
getting into the modern era of Fast and Furious.
Yes.
Glad
to be here.
That being said, how does this rank? Where do you put it?
I think right now this is my favorite one.
One.
I love the first one still very much.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that I appreciated, like I said, I mean, the simplicity of this film. This felt like a character-driven, if I'm allowed to say that, a character-driven Fast and Furious. Yeah. And I like to see that. So I actually think this is maybe my number one. I might give this 4 rooms.
4 rooms! 4 rooms for Fast & Furious.
4, yeah. I think I might give it 4 rooms. Because I gave the first one 3.5 rooms. I feel like maybe this is a 4-room film.
You know what? That's fair. And I think I would agree with 4 out of 5 rooms.
Yeah.
This movie definitely was at the, like, if you're watching them in order, when you hit 4, you're like, hell yeah, this is what I want.
And that is exactly the experience I had today.
Well, great. You're on track then. You're on track to becoming a bona fide member of the fan club. A real fan. You're on your way.
Awesome.
So with that, should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been
how do
we wrap this show up?
I don't know.
How do we wrap this show up normally?
Thanks everyone for listening to The Cast and the Curious. If you want to maybe drop us like a rate, review, subscribe-sies on an iTunes or something like that, that really helps us out. I know everyone's looking for content right now, so point them in our direction, baby. Plus, not only are you listening to a cool podcast, you're watching movies along with them. So that's going to kill like 3 hours of your day.
Yeah.
Which is a great way to advertise this podcast. It helps you kill time.
It helps you kill time. Exactly. Keep watching these movies with us. Let us know what you think. And do all the things Sarah said.
And no spoilers, for the love of God. If I am spoiled on this series, I'll be so mad.
No, everyone's been pretty good. But yeah, you know, respect the process.
The process.
Respect the art. All right.
Stay safe, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
This has been a Small Beans endeavor. We're a bunch of pals who make podcasts, sketches, music, web series, and movies. The Beans always have new ideas percolating, so make sure to check us out at patreon.com/smallbeans. That's patreon.com/smallbeans, where you can browse all of our current and past content, see what we've got planned in the future, and learn how your support can help the small beans grow into huge, giant monster beans. If you enjoyed this content module, please like, rate, subscribe, or tell a friend about us. We love you.